Imagine this. One of your patients calls you and say, "Hey, I'm scheduled for surgery next month. Can acupuncture help?" At that moment, you might pause because we didn't learn this in school, did you? I sure did not. So what do you say? What points are safe? When do you do treatment pre and post surgery? If you've ever felt unsure on what to do pre and post surgery, you are not alone, and this is exactly why I'm talking about this subject today. I'm going to share with you my pre and post surgery acupuncture protocols, and I'll also add the best food and supplements, including Chinese herbal formulas for faster recovery post surgery. So next time this happens, you're ready and confident and have the tools to support your patients. Welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, I'm Clara from AcuPro Academy, and I create Chinese medicine and acupuncture content for students and practitioners, making it easy to grasp and fun to learn. We see a lot of patients that may come and see us after surgery, prior to surgery, or tell us that they're going to go through it, right? So this is a really good opportunity to educate the patients on what we can do to help them get ready for surgery, because it's a big trauma to the body when we get cut open. Let's be honest about this. And we can also help with recovery. TCM is fantastic when it comes to fast recovery. There are many common surgeries that patients can go through, like hernia repair. And usually when that happens, we can select point to restore the core muscle strength, to reduce the abdominal pain, and optimize internal organ functions. When it comes to C-section recovery, I treat a lot of patients during pregnancy and post-pregnancy because, again, TCM is fantastic for post-pregnancy, faster recovery, and healing. So when it comes to C-section, we can focus on postnatal recovery points to support scar healing, alleviate, of course, abdominal pain, and replenish substances like qi, blood, and body fluid. Not with acupuncture for body fluids, but with herbs and food. Something like knee surgery, acupuncture is so great for managing the inflammation, promoting ligament healing, and restoring joint stability. For carpal tunnel syndrome, of course, often we want to prevent it, but sometimes patients will come and say they've just had surgery, so we're going to use points to reduce nerve inflammation in the wrist, improve the strength of the hand, and, of course, manage the pain, which acupuncture is fantastic. There are many other common surgery like appendicitis, which is usually more acute, so we would do more post-surgery than pre, because most of the time, obviously, patients don't know that this is going to happen. Gallbladder removal, that's often the case as well. We would treat them more post-surgery. Hip replacement, in this case, you can do pre and post-surgery. So we're going to look at all this. Are you ready? Let's go. Why does TCM matter when it comes to pre and post surgery? Because surgery is a major trauma to the body. From a TCM perspective, it consumes qi and blood, disrupt the spleen and stomach, create stagnation, and of course, a lot of patients are going to be on medications, which can also have side effects, and we can address that as well. And clinically, we'll see this as fatigue, nausea, pain, of course, numbness, stiffness, the systems that take the biggest hit when it comes to surgery, no matter what the surgery, are the spleen and the stomach, which affects energy, healing, and digestion, the liver, the kidney, and the lung, which affects pain management, tissue repair, and circulation. And here's what I want you to remember. The best time to support your patients is prior to surgery, because we can prepare the body in advance for the trauma it is going to be experiencing. Make sense? This is where, as practitioners, we can make a real impact. The recovery will be faster, pain will be reduced, energy will come back quicker, and complications are often minimized. One of the things we have to remember is patients are going to be anxious, right? That's normal. So we want to also calm the mind, not just address the body. And we want to minimize the inflammation response. Let's be practical. When should we treat patients pre-surgery? The idea would be at least twice a week for 2 to 3 weeks prior to the date scheduled. So that gives you 5 to 6 sessions. This gives you time to prepare the body, build the strength of the body. Now, diet is important as well. Lifestyle, of course, would be included in our education when we tell patients to prepare for surgery. So at this time, the treatment principles would be to nourish liver blood, support kidney qi because essence will take a toll, strengthen spleen qi, and of course, calm the mind. Let's look at point selection. We would start with stomach 36, spleen 6, and Ren 6. This is your core foundation to boost or tonify qi, support digestion, build blood, and keep the energy up. The second group of points would be kidney 6 on the left, lung 7 on the right, to open the yin chao and the Ren vessel to support yin, fluids, and overall restoration or recovery later on. Now, the counterpart is also spleen 4 on the right and pericardium 6 on the left to address or connect to the Chong vessel for emotional regulation, and it's an amazing combo for anxiety and nausea. Now, we can add up Ren 17 to open the chest for relieving stress, better breathing, specifically if there's anxiety, and we can use Yin Tong and do 20 to calm the mind. This is not about doing something fancy, it's just about building a strong, stable internal environment before the surgery happens. Now, we can also add up ear seeds or do ear acupuncture. And if you haven't taken my auricular therapy online course yet, I'll have the link for you below. It is very popular, it's very comprehensive, and people's feedback on this course has been amazing. So I'm so glad I was able to support practitioners and students in the ability to use auricular therapy because it's so powerful and effective. I love microsystems. So when it comes to pre-surgery, we can embed ASP, and if you don't know what that is, I talk about this in my course, but it's semi-permanent needles, or we can do ear seeds as well. The points we're going to choose for pre-surgery are going to be kidney to lessen the impact of the trauma that is going to affect essence, liver for smooth flow and relaxing the body, sympathetic to regulate the autonomic response to the surgery, because that's trauma, right? And Shenmen to calm the nervous system. Now, if you do herbs, make sure you avoid giving blood-moving or blood-thinning formula prior to surgery. Okay, so now that we've talked about the pre-surgery, which I don't see as many patients pre, but I see a lot more post because people think about it after, not before, and sometimes the surgery is not planned, right? Like appendicitis. Now, let's talk about what happens post-surgery from a TCM perspective. Timing is very important because we're not going to do the same thing at day 3 after surgery versus 3 weeks later. Make sense? So we're going to look at each stage of recovery and what we do when it comes to acupuncture, food, and supplement for fast recovery. Stage 1, acute recovery, basically within the first week after the surgery. Only treat once patients are medically stable, usually 3 to 5 days after surgery, depending on the case. Always respect surgeon's guidelines. The treatment principle here is going to be move blood, move qi, reduce pain and inflammation, and support the body, but without overwhelming it. So don't overdo it, meaning not too many needles. The treatment's going to be gentle with distal point. We're not going around the surgery area. So if it's after a C-section, we're not touching the belly. If it's after appendicitis, same thing. If we had a knee replacement, we're not touching the knee. Make sense? So first of all, we can do large intestine 4 and liver 3, the 4 gates, to move qi and blood and reduce pain. Stomach 36 and spleen 6 to nourish qi and blood. Pericardium 6 because it's amazing for post-surgery nausea if the patient has nausea. If they don't, you don't have to put it, of course. Of course, you can use points to calm the mind. Here are 2 things we need to remember. We avoid needling directly near the surgical site, and we do not have any stimulation. Just let the needle help the body self-regulate. Your goal is to support, not to intervene. Did you know I have a weekly newsletter that is completely free where I share tons of case studies, TCM tips that I don't share anywhere else? I also provide a lot of infographic and free PDFs in that newsletter. So if you haven't signed up to it yet, again, it's completely free and you'll get so much out of it. The link is below for you. Phase 2, from week 1 to week 4 post-surgery. This is where things get really interesting. Now we want to restore the flow, but we want to rebuild as well. So we're going to move blood a bit more actively. We're going to reduce inflammation, of course. We're going to try to prevent scar tissue, and we're continuing to tonify qi. The point strategy is going to be very similar. We're still going to stick to stomach 36, spleen 6, and Ren 6 to rebuild qi and blood. We are moving circulation and reducing pain with the 4 gates, liver 3 and large intestine 4. And now we can start having local points, but not on the incision, of course. So let's say it was carpal tunnel syndrome. You can start needling on the elbow area, maybe the upper forearm or the hand itself, but not the wrist. Does that make sense? So closer to the area, but not quite where the surgery was. Now, once the incision is completely closed, so probably around 4 or 5 weeks, we can start doing Surround the Dragon. If you've never done Surround the Dragon, it's kind of like pointing the needles all around the scar, and then you just make a little circle around it. And you are going to use quite a lot of needles, specifically in that area. This has to be done quite often, not just once, in order to prevent the scar. But make sure it's completely healed before you do anything. And you're not going in the incision, you're going around. This is why it's called Surround the Dragon. Stage 3, full recovery, basically from a month to 3 months after surgery, depending how big the surgery is and what area it's affecting, right? So if it is knee surgery, it's going to take a while to heal. But with acupuncture and everything we're going to do for patients, it's going to go much faster. When it comes to musculoskeletal, of course, they will be provided with gentle exercise to start moving the area slowly and getting the strength back. We are focusing on reducing inflammation and helping the body recover faster, so we are supporting our patients in that perspective. Okay, so now what we want to do is resolve stagnation if there's something left, reducing inflammation, and building the body back up. You can use local points, of course, and you can use the balance method as well as ear acupuncture, so distal points, to address the problem. We're going to stick to stomach 36, spleen 6, and Ren 6 to help build the recovery. You can still do the 4 gates. This is very similar all along, but now you're going to go a little bit more closer to the area to help bring more blood circulation. Now, if it was something that affected joints, ligament, tendons, like knee surgery, hip surgery, carpal tunnel syndrome surgery, we could do things like gallbladder 34 because that's going to help with recovery of tendons. Now, if there's still swelling on week 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, do spleen 9. That is going to bring the swelling down, as well as gallbladder 34 is a great one for reducing swelling. Make sense? So really adapt to each patient and each surgery, but the basic core concept stays the same for everyone. What about the scarves? Well, scarves block qi and blood, so it creates some stagnation, and it affects the channel flow as well. So once everything is healed, like I said, you can do Surround the Dragon and needle around the scar, but stay very gentle, no stimulation. Yes? Good. Now let's look at a few more points in case there are side effects post-surgery. For example, constipation due to medications, very common, so we can do stomach 25, stomach 37, or if you can needle the belly, then you could do the digestive diamond, which is Ren 6, Ren 9, and stomach 25. If there's a lot of irritability or insomnia, then we can use liver 2, we can use heart 7. Always adapt to each patient. But the core points are still going to be stomach 36, spleen 6, Ren 6. You can add up pericardium 6, Ren 12 if there's a lot of nausea. You can add up any point to support your patients. This video is sponsored by Jane, the practice management software and electronic medical record. I jumped in with Jane years ago when I went from paper, hello old school, to electronic, keeping up with the times. Running a practice, as you know, comes with a lot of moving parts, and Jane has been a game changer for me. From scheduling to charting to keeping everything organized and running smoothly behind the scene, Jane totally rocks. If you're curious to see how Jane can support you and your patients, I highly recommend you check them out here. And one last thing, if you're ready to start with Jane, you can use my code AcuPro1MO, 1 month, to get a 1 month grace period on your new account with Jane. The link and the code are in the description below. Now, to me, food as medicine is one of my favorite parts of Chinese medicine. I love nutrition, and I think it's so underutilized, specifically for recovery, because in most hospitals, what they feed you is not going to help your recovery because there's no nutrients. You usually get like white bread and jello and some weird pudding. I don't know. But it's not going to help your recovery, right? So we want to try to really educate patients on how food is medicine. So after surgery, post-surgery, we can recommend bone broth, really good for kidney, for building qi, building blood. Also, if people really like congee with goji berries or dazao, which is red dates, that's a great idea. You can use also quinoa as a replacement if you're not doing rice, but that is the warm porridge idea to make it easy on spleen and stomach or the digestive system so we don't put more strain on the middle jiao that is in charge of giving us energy post-surgery. Another thing that we can recommend is stews with dark leafy green, beets, and dark mushrooms like shiitake, maitake, really good for building blood and also for strengthening the immune system. And easy on the spleen food like sweet potatoes, squash, fish, really good to nourish the spleen without, again, putting strain on it. Now, we want to definitely avoid cold, raw food, so no ice cream, no salad, because that's going to tax the spleen, obviously. No fried, processed, or sugary food, specifically because that's going to create more inflammation and it doesn't bring nutrients to the body. Like I said, right, earlier in the hospital, they give you really bad food that doesn't help recovery. We do not want to consume any alcohol because that dehydrates and interfere with healing. And spicy food should not be taken post-surgery, specifically the first 3-4 weeks, because it can irritate the digestion. Do you use Chinese herbal formula in your practice? If you do, I think the two best formulas are going to be Yunnan Baiyao, which is one of the best formula to stop bleeding, reduce swelling, move blood stasis. It's more for an acute stage right post-surgery. But again, you might not be able to give that formula if patients are on other medications and that might interact. So it's your choice. You got to be very well versed in formula in order to use them. Now, about 2 weeks after surgery, we can use Bajantong. This is a really good formula to build blood, build qi because it tonifies spleen qi, but it also nourishes liver blood. So this would be a great formula for stage 2 and stage 3 of recovery. It works really well for women post C-section, specifically because after surgery, a lot of women are blood deficient according to Chinese medicine. So this is a really gentle, safe formula to take for a few weeks in order to rebuild the body. Now let's talk about supplement. I know this is not TCM, but it can be very useful if you're able to recommend some of those supplements to your patients. The first one is bromelain. It comes from pineapple. It's really good to reduce post-surgery bruising, and it's also great for reducing swelling and pain. The second one is vitamin C because it helps with collagen formation, immune support, and healing for wounds. So that's great, right? Vitamin A is great for connective tissue repair and immune boosting. Arnica, I love arnica, which is a homeopathic remedy, and it really helps applying it on the area that was affected by the surgery because it'll reduce bruising, pain, and swelling. Arnica is great also if you sprain an ankle. It's fantastic. It works really well. And the last one is L-arginine, which is an amino acid that helps with collagen production for healing. Now, always remind patients to check with their surgeons before taking any supplements or herbs, especially anything with blood-thinning properties pre-surgery. The treatment protocols I'm sharing with you today are part of my Chinese Medicine Treatments Made Easy book. It covers acupuncture and TCM treatments for over 160 syndromes, from fibromyalgia to high blood pressure to digestive issues, neurological issue, and so much more. If you don't have your copy yet, you can choose either from the digital version, which has a lot of video links and it's easy to access on any device, or you can order the hard copy from the publisher who ships all over the world. The link is below for you, or you can go to AcuProAcademy.com and click the shop tab on the menu bar. So next time patients are telling you they're having surgery or they just had surgery, now you have a plan, you know what to do, you're ready to support them. I hope that was useful. And if you want to support me, all you have to do is subscribe and let me know in the comments how you enjoyed this video. In the meantime, watch this next. Keep rocking it using acupuncture, and I'll see you in the next video.